What is going on, lads, and welcome to a squad full of players who have got the most awful work rates possible for their positions. We're going to be looking at some centre-backs who love to attack, some centre-attacking mids who love to defend, and some strikers who love to do absolutely fuck all. So these work rates are pretty difficult to play with, I am not going to lie. Some of them don't really impact you too much, and then others are just absolutely awful and can really ruin the flow of your game. So we're going to take a look at them and we're going to discuss like why they are so bad and if you guys should avoid them or not and stuff like that. There is a couple of good players in this squad though. We've got an inform over at left back, which you'll see in a second. So if you want to go and buy him, there's a link down in the description to FIFAcoinstoday.com. The team of the year will be coming out soon as well, so get your coins as well before they start going up in price, as a lot of people want them to be buying team of the year players and opening packs and stuff like that. So go over there, use the discount code AJ3 and you'll get yourself a whopping 10% off. But let's move on and take a look. And this is actually going to be an all BPL team. You can basically make an all whatever league you want team because there's just people with crazy work rates all over the place. I think the most difficult ones I found were the centre attacking mids. To get centre attacking mids with bad work rates was really hard. But we're going to be taking a look at Jan Vertonghen, and then all the way down here, we are going to be taking a look at John Stones. We've got Begovic in goal. We start with him in goal just because goalkeepers don't have work rates. They have that save technique, which his is traditional. Whereas when you go on these guys, you will see their work rates are both high and medium. Now, this is actually not too much of a problem. I found the defence was the place where it impacted me least. Sometimes you will find that Vertonghen's gone pissing off up the pitch and he's somewhere in midfield, but usually there is a defender or a left back or a right back or a centre back or something like that there to cover him, and it doesn't really seem to matter too much. So if you are going to use players that have got dodgy work rates, I think centre back is probably the place where it doesn't really matter at all, apart from only tipped by the left back and the right back, simply because I don't actually think there's a such thing as a bad work rate for a wing back. You can either have a high medium work rate and they'll just be an attacking fullback. You can have a medium and they'll be balanced. You can have a medium high in the defensive. And you can't really go wrong with it. It just depends how they're going to play. It's not necessarily bad. It's just a different play style. Whereas when you've got a centre attacking mid with a high defensive work rate, you don't want your centre attacking mid to be doing that. It's not really a style of play. A style of centre attacking play isn't drop back and defend. You want them to be hitting forward, whereas a style of fullback play can be get down the wings and put the crosses in. So I literally just use Coleman and Baines because I've always got them in my club. I always have an Everton team just here with all the informs and stuff like that. Both of them have got high, medium, and it really doesn't matter. You can pick whichever players you really want there. So then let's move on and take a look at our centre defensive mids. They're actually both centre mids, but they've got the stats of a CDM, but they've got the work rates of a cam, which is absolutely bizarre. So we're going to pop them both in here, and it is going to be Paulinho and then the Gardner. It is Craig Gardner, not Gary, his brother. So we have got these two guys who have both got high attacking work rates and medium defensive work rates, as you guys can see. But they have both got, in Paulinho's case, better defending stats than he has attacking stats, only just, but still. And then Gardner has got very good defensive stats, slightly better on his attacking, but we kind of put him there because he can do a job as a defender, and we wanted to test out how bad work rates would affect a centre defensive mid. So Paulinho is a very good player. He's incredible at defending when he actually stays back, which isn't quite so often. And Gardner is a decent player. He's a little bit slow, but he's pretty good all round, and you could probably pop him in a silver team as a centre attacking mid and he'd do a very good job for you, and you could defend from the front with him because he's got pretty decent defending and pretty decent physical as well. But as a whole, you do seem to only end up with one defensive mid. One of them is always going to be up the pitch and trying to play as a centre attacking mid, which is pretty annoying, but it's kind of just how it goes with this team, and it is kind of compensated by these guys who I'm going to pop in. We've got Oscar over on one side, and on the opposite side we've got a CM who has got the stats of a cam but the work rates of a centre defensive mid, so it's a little bit the opposite way around. And that is when we can find him, Fabian Delph. So 68 shooting, 64 defending, 69 passing, 81 dribbling and 79 pace. He's actually really, really good going forward. But he's got a medium attacking work rate and a high defensive one, which is a massive, massive pain in the arse. Same goes for Oscar. 43 defending on this fella, but fucking hell does he love to track back. I suppose it is a strength of his game in real life that he's such a hard worker for the team. But on FIFA, being a hard worker and being a good lad doesn't make you good. You've got to just actually have good stats and work rates. And unfortunately, he just doesn't seem to have them at all. He is always dropping back at left back, and Delph is always dropping back at right back. I know they're actually centre attacking mids, but they're quite wide cams. So you do seem to end up with one centre defensive mid in the middle, be it Gardner or Paulinho. Then you seem to end up with one striker, one attacking mid up the middle, and then these two pushed right the way back down to like having two left backs and two right backs. It's really peculiar how it works, and to be honest, it really does make for a very imbalanced midfield. Up at striker, we have got Bobby Zamora over here. And then over on the opposite side, we have got a guy who isn't actually from the BPL just because he was the only one. Zamora's the only one with terrible wear rates from the BPL. We have actually gone for Cameron Jerome from the Empower Championship instead. Both of these guys have got terrible wear rates for a striker. We've got medium-high on Jerome, and we've got low and medium on Zamora, who basically just doesn't move. He just stands there like a centre attacking mid. Never really seems to get forward or make a forward run, which is a massive pain in the arse, and I wouldn't recommend using him. Jerome, on the other hand, is kind of a little bit different, and he always seems to linger around by where Paulinho or Gardner will be when they push up. You seem to have two centre attacking mids, Zamora just basically doing absolutely nothing. And Jerome's kind of there, and sometimes, because he has got that medium attacking wear rate, he will make a run behind the defence, and when he does, he is fucking awesome. He's so fast, he's got a really good shot on him for a silver, but it's just so annoying that most of the time he's defending rather than being on that line, whereas if he was on the line the whole time, if he had high-low wear rates, he would be one of the best strikers on this game, I think, because he is absolutely incredible as a player, but his wear rates just do really let him down. That is where we're going to leave the video, lads. These guys have got basically the worst wear rates possible for their positions. Let me know if you guys know how to change the wear rates. All I could find to do is when you go in this instructions here, you can kind of change the way they play. So you can actually tell if you want to you can tell Jerome to get in behind the defence and try and make them runs in behind. I haven't actually tested it out and if it makes a difference, but that's not really the wear rates, that's the style of play that you want him to do. And even if you do tell him to get in behind, most of the time he's gonna be defending rather than doing the getting behind. It's only when he goes forwards that he does specifically that, if you get what I mean. He's still only going to attack them the same amount, he's just, when he does, it's all going to be trying to run the defence. But that is where we're going to leave this video, lads, because this gets far too complicated. If you guys know how to change wear rates, pop them down in the comment section. I have got a crazy itchy nose, so I'm going to go away and have a good pick. So pop the stuff down in the comment section, lads. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure you drop a like if you are new. Make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. And I will see you next time.